Harnitha Jarrett, Esquire, to lead this along with Louise Carter, right?
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming. I hope you've had a wonderful time. Thank you. I hope that you had a chance to see the video that was put together by Louise Carter with the help of Gwen Cannon to honor our deceased classmates. There were pictures and their names, but what we're going to do now is just take a moment to honor them, to honor our deceased classmates. We're going to just list their names and ask you to remember gone but not forgotten. We're doing this alphabetically. And these are the classmates we've lost. Carlene Abraham, Kenneth Began, Kwawi Bay, which many of you knew as Jimmy Nash, Diane Boatman, Cleveland Bowler, Richard and Robert Brown, the twins, Daryl Bird, Priscilla Charlesworth, also Peshek, Jean Clanton, Tyrone Davis, Gwendolyn Davis, Charles Dean, Maudine Dobbins, Lynn Doss, Joanne Fulgham, John Green and Yvonne Green, Stephanie High, Regina Hall, Linda Holly Woolwine, and Emery Hood.
Beverly Hughes, Richard Johnson, Miriam McGee, Nicholas Malcutt, Billy Malone, Kay McDuffie, Joyce Bullock, Janet Allen, Stephen Rachman, Monavat Reed, Robert Reed, Annie Mayburn, Elijah Shawn, Michael Smith, Carolyn Stanton, Stanley Stewart, David Stoller, Mary Carter, and Phyllis White.
In addition to that, because today is the 15th anniversary of one of the most tragic losses in the history of this country, we would like to take a moment of silence to honor the nearly 3,000 people that lost their lives. Yes, sir?
Is it okay if I add one more?
Please. Robert McCorkle. We didn't know that he died. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. No, it's okay. But we're going to, yes, please. Did everyone hear that? We've also lost Jesse Bell. Is there anyone else? Yes, ma'am. James Carter. We're going to add all these to the list, so we'll have them for the 50th. Thank you for bringing. Anyone else? We've added 3 more. Sydney Holmes. And Sydney Holmes.
We need to be recording this though right now.
Is there anyone else before we move on? Thank you all for bringing it, because we received this information from you all and from our Alumni Association, so thank you. So we're going to go back to, we're honoring those that lost their lives in 9/11 in New York, in the fields of Pennsylvania, and at the Pentagon. So I'd like to take a moment of silence to honor the nearly 3,000 people that lost their lives on this 15th anniversary of their death today. So we'll just take a moment of silence, please.
Are those my glasses? Thank you.
Thank you all.
I believe, thank you for adding those names. We go to great lengths to try to find these people, and so we don't know. There was a Cass Tech grad who died at 9/11 on there at the towers, and I think she just came up here a little while ago. There was a lady who just came up here, and she said, "Can you acknowledge this lady who was a member of class or something and died there at 7/11 at the site?" So I don't know where she went to, but she was, we were going to acknowledge that. Got a question. Who, before we move into the Hall of Fame, who here thinks that they are the oldest classmate of Cass Tech? Anybody? Mr. Oh, wow. Ray, okay, does Ray, what's the year of your class? 1948. Can we stand up and acknowledge our oldest class member? Ray Lett. Ladies and gentlemen, Ray Lett. Yeah. Yeah. Ray, can you come up for 1 second real quick? Ladies and gentlemen, once again, I want you to step in front here. Yes, the oldest graduate from Cass Tech in the house. Again, please acknowledge him, please. And I want you to notice that for those of you who do not know Ray Litt, he's been extremely active on the alumni. He always wears Cass Tech wherever he goes. So wearing Cass Tech means you live and longer, right? All right, maybe. All right, but Ray, thanks for everything. Go ahead.
I want to say to you, I've been at many reunions, many parties by many different classes, including my own. And I want to compliment the committee and the group that put this wonderful show together. Not only did they do a great job, but they brought us this beautiful weather. Thank you again.
All right. And like we'll tell you, that was planned. We put that in our plan. All right, also representing the president, last two recognitions, the president of the Cass Tech alumni couldn't make it today, but in his stead, he sent Ms. Attorney Pat Battersby. Pat, could you recognize, and she's been a tremendous help. She's been running like a committee member for us, so we want to acknowledge Pat, and you just tell Larry that we sorry that we didn't see him today. Okay? Sure.
Thank you. On behalf of Larry Patrick and the entire Cass Tech Alumni Association, we want to congratulate our honorees today. We want to tell the class of 1971, you are awesome. We so appreciate your spirit and the addition that you make to the Alumni Association, to our school and our community in general. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you also to the class of 1971 for sponsoring the first ever CT Sports Hall of Fame. This is something that's going to go on in perpetuity, we hope. And it's the class of 1971 that stepped up and said, oh yeah, we'll do it. So here's to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you. Class of 71, that's what we do, right? That's what we do. At this time, I'm going to turn the mic over to the very illustrious principal of our alma mater, who we so love. I'd like to bring to the podium, who will then introduce the, we'll just have, we'd like to have, yes. What? Oh, okay, we'll turn that over. All right, yeah, okay. Ladies and gentlemen, the principal of Cass Tech High School.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh boy. Good evening. I am Lisa Phillips, and I always start off by saying the proud principal of Cass Technical High School. To the class of 1971 and our entire CT family, we are so proud of you because look where you are and what you've done and all of your accomplishments. And I want to thank you for giving back to CT because you always do. We could not be a successful school without the alumni, so I have to say thank you. Now, I see my wonderful students standing in front of me, and I'm one to say that everything that we do, it's teamwork. The alumni, the teachers, the parents, and the awesome students at Cass Tech, to the National Honor Society to give us away. Thank you. I want to thank our sponsors, Ms. Chillis, Ms. Willis, and this is Mr. Tony Smith, who has been the point person to pull all of this together for the school. So I have to say thank you to my team. I've been the principal for 7 years at Cass Technical High School. This is year number 7. And when I took the position, I made a pledge that I would not rest on the legacy of excellence that you left. I had to forge a new grounds and come up with things every year to outdo what you guys had already accomplished. So I am proud to say that we are the first, and this is a big deal on an international level, we are the first international baccalaureate high school in Wayne County. No one has done that. This year, we will graduate 30 seniors from Cass Tech with an associate's, which will mean that 90 have graduated from Wayne County before graduating from Cass Tech. Now, let me tell you what happens. When you graduate with your associate, came up with this program, for 4 years, and her son completed, I think your son attended. For 4 years, you have to take college classes every Saturday. You have to make a commitment. And in the end, you walk across the stage at Wayne County Community College with your associate's degree, right? Which means when you go to Michigan State, you start as a junior. When you attend Wayne State, you begin as a junior. 2 years of college, then you can move quickly. I'm really proud that 30 students will graduate this year. I'm also proud to say we have a wonderful partnership. Where's my student who just graduated? We have a wonderful partnership with the University of Michigan. It's called the Doctors of Tomorrow. Here's my sponsor. Once a month, whenever you shake my hand, I make a deal for the kids, right? So I met with the medical school, the medical advisor. Our students, the only school, every month for a full day, they take the bus, U of M brings the bus to CT, and we take our students who are going to become doctors. They spend 1 day a month in the medical school with the lab jacket, the entire work. She stays the entire day shadowing senior med students. This is an inroads into U of M or any university, but definitely an inroads into medical school. So I'm really proud of that. Every student who finished that program at U of M, 50 seniors were accepted to U of M this year, 50. The president of U of M, for the first time, spent a half day at Cass Tech. He could not believe it. He says, no one has ever invited me. You did. He loves CT, so we get a lot of privileges there. Also at Michigan State and all of the other universities. Last year, our students experienced traveling to Japan. They've been to south of France. We've been to Italy. This year, we're doing Paris, Italy, and Rome. So I try to make sure that the students understand there are no boundaries. Anything you want, you can do. I'm really proud to say that I always have to come up with an initiative, something that drives me as the principal. So this year, last year, I wanted the students to experience the Ivy League world. We're at Michigan, we're at State, we're at Wayne, we're all over. We're at Morehouse, we're at Spelman, but I wanted that Columbia, Brown, MIT experience. So we sent students this summer to study in summer programs. I think one over here, MIT. 2 were at Columbia, at Brown, and I'm really proud because now Columbia is doing some special things for CT. We have our first, because of Mr. Smith, student to attend Juilliard full ride. It's been 11 to 12 years from Cass Tech. This young man is so awesome that when he traveled to New York to lunch with Baryshnikov, at the Met, yes, a CT, that now he's in New York, flying all over the country, dancing, Javon Jones, and it's because of Mr. Smith. I have 3 minutes, I'm there, 1 minute. I've got to tell you about this Illich partnership. Since they're building the stadium to my left, when I look out of my window, they came by and said, what can we do for CT? I said, well, I want internships for the kids, but not twirling the pizza. I want them in executive positions, right? I found out that all you do is ask. When you ask, it shall be so. Second year, they're working for the Red Wings in graphic designs. They work for the Tigers in executive security. They are accountants. They're in all executive positions, 25 seniors every year from CT. He's so kind. Last 2 weeks ago, they were honored on the field, and every year we get to throw out the first pitch. I threw out the pitch the first year, whatever, don't worry about it. I thought it. This year, they selected a student. They put a lot of money into Cass Tech. Whenever someone needs an internship or interns, they come to CT. Just wanted you to know, I'm wrapping up. This Wednesday, though, Detroit Homecoming, which is sponsored by Thursday, sponsored by Crane. All of the shakers and the movers around the nation, you're gonna be there? We'll be at Cass Tech. They selected our school to showcase and to highlight. So you know I'm there showcasing the students. Everything we do there, it's about students. And last but not least, this year, no, two things. I'm sitting down. The graduating class, the largest in a long time, 580. That's a big deal. 580. Last year, the senior class, as I take my seat, earned in scholarships and grants $55 million. Thank you, CT. Yep.
Wow. She deserves a round of applause, another one. Okay, we want to, before we turn it over to the Hall of Fame committee, I would like the volunteers. Ladies and gentlemen, you probably have seen walking around a lot of young people with Cass Tech shirts on. Those are our volunteers. They came in today to help out and make this happen. Could you give them a round of applause? Yeah. And you guys have done an excellent job. You've done a very excellent job. Everything we requested you did. We appreciate it. And we hope you got a chance to talk to somebody that was in your field. That was one of the promises. You would talk to somebody in your field of study. Hope you got the opportunity to do that. At this time, we'd like to start the Hall of Fame ceremony. And it's my real pleasure to introduce to you. Before I do that, I even got to say, Mr. Barnes, raise your hand. Mr. Barnes, Furman Barnes, by the way, is a member of the class of 71. Is that correct? Yeah. And he did an exceptional, we didn't even ask him to do it. He did it on his own. He did one of the most exceptional videographies of our 40th reunion, and we still are inspired by that. That's part of what happened here. Just know that the 40th and the 45th video may be available, and we will alert all of you. We have all your names and addresses, and we'll let you know if you want to be a part of that too. Now, it's with great honor that I introduce to you one of my colleagues. She was instrumental on this Cass Tech committee. She is the first African-American circuit court judge of Oakland County. She's also the first woman dean ever to sit on the Oakland County Circuit bench. She's in her 25th year as a judge and part of our committee, and most importantly, a part of Cass Tech's class of 71. Ladies and gentlemen, Judge Denise Langford Morris will take it in from here.
All right. Thank you, Alan Young. Let's give Alan Young a round of applause. Thank you. He was our fearless leader for the class of 71 reunion, and I know everyone's had a wonderful time. This is a serious ceremony. And we are honored and privileged to begin it with the singing of the national anthem, the Star-Spangled Banner, by Miss Deborah Love, a 1974 Cass Tech grad and sister of Master Lynette Love. Please welcome her.
Oh, say, can